Good afternoon, students. This is the video on superior orbital fissure and the possible viva questions which can be asked on the superior orbital fissure, because it is an important fissure located between greater and lesser wing of the sphenoid, and many structures they come from the middle cranial fossa to the orbit. Similarly, veins they go from the orbit to that of the middle cranial fossa. First, let us see very briefly about the location of the superior orbital fissure as seen from the norma frontalis or from the anterior view of the orbit. If you see the anterior view of the orbit, you will see that this is the right orbit, and here in this right orbit near the apex of the orbit you can see the presence of a fissure, and this fissure as seen here in black is called as the superior orbital fissure. Since this fissure and its boundary are not properly seen from this view, we will tilt this right orbit to see the boundaries of superior orbital fissure, the inferior orbital fissure, optic canal, and how the boundaries of the superior are formed by various bones. Now see in the second diagram, you will see that this is the frontal bone which is forming the roof where my pointer is moving. The yellow color bone is the important bone in the medial wall of the orbit, and then the floor is formed by that of the orbital plate of the maxillary bone, okay, which forms the roof of the maxillary cavity or sinus. Then in the lateral wall, this pinkish structure is seen is the sphenoid bone. Here is the body of the sphenoid where you can see the presence of the optic canal, and lateral to it this bone which is seen is the lesser wing of the sphenoid where pointer is moving, and this bone in the lateral wall of the orbit is the greater wing of the sphenoid, and this blackish structure which is a gap between the lesser and the greater wing of the sphenoid is the superior orbital fissure, and then lower down this fissure is the inferior orbital fissure, and this is the optic canal. Let's come to the questions, viva questions which a examiner can ask. The first, as soon as you will pick up this bone, and if he is asking you the orbit, then he may ask what are the boundaries of the superior orbital fissure, or name the bones which are forming the superior orbital fissure. You can say that the supromedially this fissure is bounded by the lesser wing of the sphenoid, while infralaterally this fissure is bounded by the free margin of the greater wing of the sphenoid. Thus this fissure is mainly located between the two free margins. One is the lesser wing of the sphenoid and another is the greater wing of the sphenoid. Both the wings are going towards the body of the sphenoid. This portion is the body of the sphenoid, and at the junction of the lesser wing and the body there is a optic canal is located. This canal is located. Then the next question will come that how this superior orbital fissure is divided into three parts because of the attachment of the fibrotendinous ring. That means the question will be, tell me what are the attachment of the fibrotendinous ring. You can show him this again, just 1 minute. Let us see that this whole thing is the greater wing, the lesser wing of the sphenoid. This is the free margin of the lesser wing of the sphenoid. This bone on lateral side is the greater wing of the sphenoid, and this is the free margin of the lesser wing of the sphenoid. This area here is the body of the sphenoid, and this at the junction of the lesser wing and the body of the sphenoid, this is the optic canal is located here. This bone is ethmoid bone. Here it is the maxillary part of the, the orbital part of the maxilla. This is the greater wing of the sphenoid, and on the top it is the frontal bone. I hope that you have got the orientation of the apex portion of the orbit. Now the question was that what are the bones which gives a taste to this fibrotendinous ring. This fibrotendinous ring, you start replying like that, It is a rounded ring which encloses a part of the superior orbital fissure, and that part which is enclosed by this fibrotendinous ring is called as the middle part of the superior orbital fissure. But this ring also encloses the optic canal, okay, and this is attached on lateral side to the greater wing of the sphenoid here. On superior side it is attached to the lesser wing of the sphenoid. On medial side it is attached to the body of the sphenoid, and lower down to the body to the lesser wing of the sphenoid. And this is a fibrotendinous ring which divides the fissure or superior orbital fissure into three parts. Naturally, the next question will be, which are the three parts of the superior orbital fissure? You tell that there is a upper lateral part of the superior orbital fissure which lies above and lateral to this fibrotendinous ring. Then there is a middle part of this superior orbital fissure, and this is within the fibrotendinous ring. And then there is a small part which is located inframedially, and this is the lower medial part of the superior orbital fissure, right? Then the question will come, which other structure beside the superior orbital fissure this fibrotendinous ring is also enclosing? You tell that this is the opening of the optic canal in the orbit which is enclosed by this fibrotendinous ring, and the structures which are passing or coming in the orbit structure is the ophthalmic artery, and the nerve, optic nerve, is going from the orbit towards the middle cranial fossa because it is prolongation of the retina. Within the optic nerve there is a small artery seen here, where is the pointer, and this is the central artery of retina, an important artery. These structures are covered by the meninges, that is the dura, arachnoid and pia mater, okay. Then there will be a question, what are the muscles which takes origin from this fibrotendinous ring? You say that there are four muscles and they are all recti, superior rectus which is taking origin from fibrotendinous ring where it is attached to the lesser wing of the sphenoid. Then there is a medial rectus which is attached to the body of the, where the tendinous ring is attached to the body of the sphenoid, and below the lesser wing of the sphenoid is the inferior rectus, and where this tendinous ring is attached to that of the greater wing of the sphenoid, this muscle is taking origin is the lateral rectus muscle. Other two muscles which are seen in this diagram of levator palpebral superioris and supromedially it is superior oblique, but they are not attached to the fibrotendinous ring. That you can explain, okay, or he may ask as a separate question. Then naturally the question will be that what are the structures which are present in this fissure, okay, and you have divided it into three parts. What are the structures which are passing through the upper lateral part of the superior orbital fissure? There is a frontal nerve and the lacrimal. Lacrimal and frontal nerve, they are the branch from that of the ophthalmic nerve, which itself is a branch of the trigeminal. The third nerve of the ophthalmic division of trigeminal is called as nasociliary, but it is not in the lateral part with the other two nerve branches, but it is in the middle part, okay. So जो this tendinous ring is है उसके बीच में ओके ऑप्थेल्मिक नर्व का एक डिवीजन nasociliary होता है, that is not inside the lateral compartment or the lateral upper part, okay, upper lateral part. Then there is a nerve which is a cranial nerve, and this nerve is the trochlear nerve, and this goes and supply to lateral rectus. That way you can remember that lateral rectus which will lie on lateral side, that's why its nerve trochlear will also lie into the lateral upper part of the fissure. There is a vein which is called as the superior ophthalmic vein. So these are the structure which are present in the upper lateral part. Just you revise what are those four structures which are present in the upper lateral part of the superior orbital fissure. Then in the middle part, which is within the fibrotendinous ring, you tell that there are the two division of the third cranial nerve oculomotor, which supply to the most of the extraocular muscles. Then there is a nerve, sixth cranial nerve, that is the abducent nerve, which supplies to the lateral rectus muscle, okay, that is there, okay, which is present. That abducent nerve supplies to the laterals, and I am sorry if I told you about the trochlear nerve, which is the fourth cranial nerve. It supplied to the, not to that of the lateral rectus, but to that of the superior oblique muscle. It supplies, because the nerve take a long course, it will come here, then it will go here, okay, and then it will come and supply the superior oblique. Though it is in lateral side the trochlear, but it takes a long course and then it goes to supply the superior, which is on the supromedial angle of the apex, okay. So it will, so don't forget this course of the trochlear nerve. If by mistake I have told you that this is supplying to lateral rectus, that's why it is in the lateral, is wrong. It is trochlear nerve which supply to that of the superior oblique muscle. This now, that is the nerve to this, I mean to say abducent nerve, this supplies to that of the lateral rectus muscle. It supplies to the lateral, and this is within the fibrotendinous ring. Then another nerve which is here is the nasociliary, and it is branch of the trigeminal nerve, which we have discussed already, ophthalmic division of trigeminal. So again tell me, what are the nerves which are present in the middle part of the fissure? This is the two division of oculomotor, which supply the most of the extraocular muscle. Then it is the nasociliary nerve, which is the sensory nerve, okay, and this is for the medial side of the orbit, okay. And then there is a nerve that is lateral rectus, which supply, I mean say the nerve which is the abducent nerve, which supplies to that of the lateral rectus muscle, okay. And from the lower medial part, only one structure is there, which is passing from orbit towards that of the middle cranial fossa, and this is the inferior ophthalmic vein. Both superior and inferior ophthalmic vein, they will go and open into the cavernous sinus, okay. Usually both they open separately, or they may form a common ophthalmic vein by joining each other, and then they open into the cavernous sinus. So these are the structures which are present in, I mean say, passing through the superior orbital fissure and to that of the optic canal. I hope that you have got all the questions which are possible in the orbit, okay, that means contents of the superior orbital fissure. I am thankful to the Walters Kluwer for using the diagrams which are there in this grant atlas. Thank you very much to you also for listening to this video. I am sorry for little, I mean to say, wrong information which I gave you, that is the fourth cranial nerve trochlear supplies to lateral rectus, it supplies to that of the superior oblique muscle. Thank you very much for watching this video.